Hey, Chris here, back with another video here on the Rebel Betting channel, where in this video, we're going to look at 5 value betting tips that you can use to supercharge your profits. Now, these 5 tips are in no particular order. I think all 5 of them will equally help you out when getting started with value betting. So tip number 1 then of the 5 is understanding variance. So when you start value betting, if you're not too sure what variance is, you might get a bit put off when you start seeing losing bets come in when you first start. And that's because with value betting, you're not guaranteed to win every single bet, but over time, because the odds are in your value, you will see that nice profit over many, many bets. So you really want to understand that variance and be ready for it, just in case you start off with a losing streak and not get put off by that. A great example of this is actually when I started, I did see a £230 loss in my first 3 days, but after day 20, I was actually in £1,000 of profit. If we get on the laptop here, I can show you my bet tracker graph here, and you can see how from this 3 month graph, it goes starting and it goes really, really nicely up, then kind of levels off, then a big drop down, but then we're straight back up again. And if we click on all, this is really going to show you how over time it really does nicely smooth out there and follow roughly along the CLV line or closing line value. Tip number 2 is going to be to hide low tier bets when you first start value betting on fresh brand new accounts. And that's because if you're just betting on every single league when you just open a new bookmaker account, could potentially throw up red flags and get that account restricted very, very quickly. If we go on the laptop here, I'll show you how to do that. So on the options, you click on filters here, and then you scroll down and you can actually see here, events, hide low tier. So you just select that box and then press save. As the name suggests, it is then going to hide those low tier matches, so you will only get the very top tier sporting event. I think that's a really good way to prolong account health and not make it look as suspicious that you're just purely jumping on bets for their value. Tip number 3 is going to be taking advantage of those exchange value bets. So whether it's Smarkets, the Betfair exchange, or Matchbook, you can actually take advantage of those bets when you have a pro membership on Rebel. And it's a great way to just make some extra profits. So you want to be value betting on your usual bookmaker accounts, but don't ignore those exchanges. They're a really great way to add on that additional profit there. Tip number 4 then is going to be updating your current bankroll at the end of each day when most of your bets have settled. And if we get on the laptop here, I'll show you how to do that. So I've reset the current bankroll and starting bankroll to £1,000 on each one there. Then once your bets are finished up for the day and you can see what kind of bankroll you have left, you could go ahead and just change that. Say we've made £100 profit, you would change that to 1,100 and then click save. The reason why you want to do that is so that the software knows exactly what stakes to then recommend to you the next day. And if you don't update that, it won't know the actual bankroll that you have. So you could be getting recommended the wrong bets to stake on your value bet. And then tip number 5 is something called bookmaker rotation. Now, what that means is if, for example, like we can see here on the filters, you had 6 bookmakers that you were using for value betting, you would, from this list here, use 32 Red and Treble 8 Sport on, say, the Monday. Then on the Tuesday, you would just use Bet365 and Betfred. And then on Wednesday, Coral and Ladbrokes. Then Thursday, rotate back to just using the first 2 bookmakers, and so on and so forth. Each time you would want to remove others, you would just simply click the X button on them and then click on save at the bottom there. And then when you would want to rotate and add in the others, just select them here and click it, and then press save again. It really is that easy. The reason for bookmaker rotating is you won't then just be placing all your bets on one bookmaker and placing too many bets and looking very, very suspicious. You'll be evening them out over the week across those 6 bookmakers, or even more if you have more bookmaker accounts. But why don't we get a conversation going down in the comments section by you commenting what your top tips are for someone starting out in value betting, and that way they can be helpful to anyone that may have watched this video or wants to know even more. If you've had any value from this video, please do tap the like button below, and I really hope to see you in the next video here on the Rebel Betting channel.